All right, so let's see what's going on here. I got up really late today, but all good. Let's see what they have. Okay, straight off showing Chizuru and Yuki. Makes sense. Cassius as well. Okay, okay.
안녕하세요. 김정민입니다. 카오스제로 나이트메어의 첫 업데이트 프로그램으로 인사드리겠습니다. 저 역시 카제나의 한국 미디어 시연회부터 참석을 하면서 정말 관심 있게 지켜본 게임인데요. 런칭
Hmm.
후에 저도 여러분들과 같이 게임을 열심히 플레이하고 있는 게이머로서 이렇게 직접 프로그램의 진행을 맡을 수 있어 영광입니다. 자, 오늘 저와 함께 인사하러 나온 분이 있는데요.
Have we
바로
seen these two before? I
최승현
think we've seen
팀장님과
the one on the
우리
right
팀의
before.
공자님이 나와 주셨습니다. 자기소개 한번 부탁드립니다.
네, 안녕하세요. 시스템팀 팀장 최승현입니다.
Yeah, we've seen the one on the right before.
두 분 몸이 움직이신 거 맞죠? 로봇인 줄 알았어요.
긴장이 돼가지고.
네, 긴장을 좀 많이 하신 것 같은데, 오늘 좀 편안하게, 최대한 편안하게 많은 분들에게 첫 번째 업데이트잖아요. 상세하게 좀 부탁드리겠습니다. 자, 그래서 첫 번째 업데이트는 바로 은하계 재해인데요.
Yeah.
어떤 컨텐츠?
Yeah, so this we've known about since before even release. We knew about this.
동안 진행되는 시즌 단위 컨텐츠입니다. 전반기, 중반기, 후반기 3주 간격으로 업데이트되고 매
Okay.
업데이트 시마다 스토리와 컨텐츠가 새롭게 공개됩니다. 또한 새로운 카오스도 추가되어서 기존 경험과
Wait, hold on. Let me see something that they said before. Let me read this again. That runs in seasonal units. Okay, so the units aren't seasonal. They're just explaining that it runs
전반기, 중반기,
in like
후반기
3
3주
sections.
간격으로
Okay.
업데이트되고 매 업데이트 시마다 스토리와 컨텐츠가
cool,
새롭게
cool.
공개됩니다. 또한 새로운 카오스도 추가되어서 기존 경험과는 전혀 다른 새로운 로그라이크를 해보실 수 있는데요. 내 세이브 데이터를 극한까지 시험해 볼 수 있는 새로운 도전의 장이 열리는 시즌이라고 생각해 주시면
Okay.
그렇군요.
Well,
이미 기존
I'm curious if that means we're gonna have a higher like max save data for that. If it's something we can access normally, because right now, obviously we have zero system, and then in Chaos Manifestation, the highest you can get is high by doing like the highest stage on Deep Trauma. So it's kind of annoying to farm save data because you can't farm very high save data that easily. But we'll see if they increase the limit during what's it, Galactic Calamity.
시스템을 통해서 수많은 덱 빌딩이 이루어지고 있습니다. 그렇다면 기존의 카오스와 좀 어떤 차별점이 있는지 궁금한데요.
은하계제 시즌 콘텐츠는 시즌제 세이브 데이터로만 플레이하실 수
Okay.
있는데요. 시즌 세이브 데이터는 은하계제 카오스에서 얻을 수 있습니다. 모서리에 별도 시즌 아이콘이 표시가 되고요. 참고로
Interesting.
시즌 세이브 데이터는 시즌이
Okay, so that completely throws out what. Actually, I assume you can use seasonal data outside of the season. It's just that inside it you have to use seasonal. Okay, and you're saying here it won't be deleted. Okay.
종료되어도 제거되거나 하진 않고 시뮬레이션이나
Cool.
초공간의 유형
Okay, there we go.
일반
Keep using it in
컨텐츠에서
simulation
사용할
or
수
basin.
있습니다.
그렇다면 시즌 기간의 양질의 시즌 세이브 데이터를 저희가 도전할 필요가 좀 있겠다는 생각도 듭니다.
잠시 후 시즌 콘텐츠에 대해서는 더 자세하게 말씀드릴 텐데요. 새로운 시즌
Okay.
카드, 장비,
I'm gonna heal him up there.
다양한 요소와 제약 환경에 따라서 공략하는 재미가 좀 있으실 것 같아요. 그리고 시즌이 종료되어도 스토리나 카오스는 기본 컨텐츠에 편입되기
Okay.
때문에
Cool, cool, cool.
혹시라도 놓치셨더라도 언제든지
That's good.
다시 체험해 보실
It's always
수
good to have a way to like go back and rewatch story and stuff. So that's really nice.
은하계 제어에서의 새로운 스토리도 준비가 되어 있다고 들었습니다. 자, 어떤 곳에서 어떤 내용으로 스토리가 펼쳐질지 참 기대가 되는데요. 배경 한번 소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
은하계제 시즌 1 타이틀은 금기의 카탈리스트입니다. 아르키아논 앞으로 수신된 테라시온의 협조 공문. 그 안에는 제국에서 파견된 퍼스트에게 문제가 발생했다는 내용이 들어있는데요. 지구와 가장 닮은 세력, 인류방주연합 테라시온에서 시작한 의뢰는 의문의 현상과 정체불명의 인물들이 개입하며 예상치 못한 방향으로 흘러가게 됩니다. 함장은 그 안에서 베일에 가려져 있던 비밀을 파헤치고 특별한 인연을 만들어갑니다.
Okay, okay.
그 인연의 시작이자 테라시온에서 송신된 협조 공문의 의뢰인이 있는데요. 바로 특수사건 수사부 부장
Makes sense.
유키입니다.
Yep. Okay, got a trailer.
この私が特殊事件捜査部の部長になった理由だってリーダーシップダダ漏れっしょ
Oh, we're getting Adelheid? That would be cool, because we've seen Adelheid in the game and like previous things they've released. Okay, where's Chizuru? There she is. We will be pulling for all of these, by the way. Okay, I'm guessing that's her ego? Should be her ultimate card. I'm just gonna say ego. Okay. Okay, so that's the girl who's on the back of the event art. Yeah, again there. I wonder if that's the name that she was talking about a second ago. Okay, yeah, I think I'm assuming that's Asuna then. Damn, okay, okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, we saw this a long time ago. I don't know if we saw this one. Okay, splash art. Okay, yes, this is Asuna. Okay. Oh, okay, so Asuna's a Protoss. Okay. Interesting.
짓궂은 성격과 나쁜 손버릇이 범죄자보다 더 수상해 보이는 형사 유키가 금기의 카탈리스트의
Yeah, that makes sense.
맞이할 예정입니다.
네, 확실히 유키의 표정이나 이런 일러스트를 보면요, 짓궂은 성격임을 단번에 저희가 알 수 있는데요. 그래도
You see in the back though, yeah, 5-star.
정보, 소통 이런 것들이 정말 중요하지 않을까라는 생각이 드는데요. 지금 옆에 스쳐 지나갔던 두 명이 있습니다. 이 두 명에 대해서도 좀 많이 궁금한데 혹시 알려줄 수 있을까요?
Yes, please do.
각각 치즈루, 세레니엘이라는 전투원,
Serenial.
은하계제
Okay.
스토리에서 등장하게 되는 전투원입니다. 궁금하시더라도 은하계제 이제
Okay, so Serenial's a combatant as well?
조금만 참고 기다려 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 아, 이제 곧 만날 수 있는 거군요.
네, 맞습니다.
Unless he didn't mean literally both combatant units, but we haven't seen any partners as far as I'm aware show up.
자, 이쯤 되니까 유키가 어떠한 요원인지
Okay.
카드를 가졌는지 저 정말
Please tell me we get to see some of the deck and animations.
지금 함께 하시죠.
Oh, is this a combat mission? Okay, we're not gonna see what the cards do then, unless they've changed them, which would be cool. Dude, I can't wait to pull this unit. Thank God. Yeah, Order Striker. Oh, okay. We do get to see them now. Alright, let's talk about this a little bit. Prepare to subdue. Draw one of this unit's attack cards plus 20% damage to that card for one turn. Okay. Huge thing to point out. Draw one of this unit's attack cards. Thank you for adding clarification to these, because it's so important that we know that this is how it works. This is really, really good. Okay. That's a skill, so I'm assuming that's her 4th starter card. Flash dash 180 to all enemies. Inspiration reduced cost by 1. So inspiration, if I'm not mistaken, is the same thing that Selena has on one of her cards, I want to say, where when you draw the card, an effect happens. So in this case, whenever you draw the card, it's going to have reduced cost by 1. So it's basically always 1 cost, which is interesting, because inspiration doesn't have to be drawn by an ability. Inspiration just happens whenever the card is like put into your hand. So interesting. I'm not sure why they wouldn't just make it a 1-cost card then, but okay. Retain 150% damage, activate inspiration to a random card in hand. This is why they wouldn't just make it one cost. Okay. Okay, so I assume we're going to be seeing more inspiration in her cards and probably in her epiphanies. So that Trickery Stripe can get used more. I'll have a look. Freezing Blade. Unique when using own card. Thank you for some clarification. I prefer if it said Yuki's card, but own card is fine. With an activated inspiration effect, 60% damage to all enemies, and that's on an upgrade. Okay. Okay. Interesting. 180% damage to all enemies, inspiration plus 1 extra hit, minus 20% damage. Yeah, again, the minus 20% is fine. It's worth it for the extra hit. And this is also, this card has no epiphanies. This is going to be her, what's it? Her, like, ultimate card, her high rarity card, whatever. This is the 8th card that you'll see on her character. Okay. Interesting. Inspiration-based DPS. It's definitely something we don't have yet, which is nice to see. It is weird to see yet another striker. Let's see here. Skyscraper Cleave. 300% damage to all enemies. Move all own attack cards in hand to the top of the draw pile. Plus 50% per card removed. Okay. So the reason you want to do this is because you want to get all her inspiration cards in hand, which is then procced all their effects. Then you use her ego skill, which puts them on top of the deck so that you can draw them again immediately, proc all those inspiration effects again. Okay, so with her upgrade, it depends what epiphanies you're looking to get on it, but it seems like she's going to be a really solid AoE unit, which is a bit of a change from what we have. Right now, we only have Amir and Hugo for like order units. And Luke as well. But none of them have like crazy AoE, so it seems like Yuki's gonna find kind of fill that gap, which is really, really nice. Okay, cool. I'm excited. And yeah, that's the ego skill animation. Cool. Cassius Nia team. Okay. Keep in mind, why are we running Cassius Nia? The first reason is the card draw is even better on Yuki because you're drawing those cards for inspiration. You can see here, they're down to only a 10 card deck. So you're running Nia alongside it because you're going to be shuffling a lot with this. So you're going to be proccing her Decibel a lot of the time. And then, yeah, so Cassie's going to help with that. Yuki, as we saw, has her own card draw as well. So that's the idea here, right? The idea is just to get through your deck, cycle through your deck as many times as you possibly can to trigger inspiration as often as possible. So you're really going to want like a small deck with this. When it comes to like Cassius, you're literally going to want to be down to like 3 cards. If it's not card draw, you don't want it. By the looks of it. We'll see obviously more when she comes out, but yeah, I see what's going on here. Okay. And that's her, that was her upgrade, I believe. Let me double check. Oh no, we're discarding it for Decibel. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. 322 AoE. Okay. It's decent. What was the health on these enemies? Okay, low 300s. Okay, seeking out the Yuki card, rocking inspiration on that. Yeah, getting the AoE. Okay, Lucas Yuki Nia. Interesting. I wonder what Lucas has to do with synergy. I'm actually not sure off the top of my head. Maybe I need to refresh myself on what his deck is like, but that's interesting. It doesn't look like he's doing much of anything. It might just be that he stays out of Yuki's way. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, ego skill. Okay, yeah, I think it is just that he stays out of Yuki's way, and it's a really good AoE team. Beryl. So, Beryl can slightly make up for the issues that Yuki's going to have with single target, because I can definitely see Yuki having some single target issues. She also has card draw in the form of candy bar. It's not called candy bar, but it's a candy bar. So yeah, that's gonna help with drawing the cards that you need. And again, she just kind of stays out the way of Yuki. If you run a retain Beryl who does attacks at the end of the turn for each retain card in hand, or each of her retain cards in hand. We do have an opening shot and a charge shot here, so we'll see if they're running that upgrade. But yeah, I think it's largely just that she helps Yuki draw her cards and she stays out of the way. Okay. Okay, they're not running that upgrade. Interesting. Okay, 600 HP. Are we going to be able to deal with that? Okay, yeah, so you can see here Beryl's just chunking away. Yep. So Beryl's making up for the lack of AoE there as well. Cool. I think that Nia Cassius team is probably the best. I'd really want to check the Luke team though. It's good that you get to cover 2 elements there. Okay, nice, nice.
특히 광역 공격에 치중되어 있는 전투원입니다. 그리고 유키는 대부분의 카드에 영감이라는 효과를.
Okay, so yeah, you got all the cards here. So yeah, it's really just about trying to proc inspiration. So you can see we have it here on her Flash Slash. And obviously we have it on Iceberg Cleave. More than likely Trickery Strike is gonna have something with inspiration on it. I think it'd be weird if it didn't. But then again, this activates inspiration, so maybe not. Prepared to Subdue will likely have some kind of inspiration effect on it as well. The Flowing Parry is going to get cut from your deck. Longsword Slash and Rapid Cut are going to get cut from your deck as well. Unless there's a way to give them some kind of inspiration effect, which I kind of doubt there is, but we'll see, I guess. More than likely, all 3 of these are just going to be cut from the deck. And then once you play out this upgrade, you effectively have a 4-card deck. Probably not going to look to add too much to that. Maybe you could add like a Dark Grip. But again, if it doesn't have an inspiration effect, you don't really need it. So we'll have to see. Obviously, Spirit of Kefox is going to be a really, really good card. Just the ability to seek out whatever you want is really nice. So yeah, maybe that's the only like common card you'd really add to a Yuki deck. Spirit of Kefox. But yeah, interesting. Interesting.
영감은 능력으로 핸드로 이동시켰을 때 발동하는 효과입니다.
Oh, okay, so it has to be through an ability according to this. Interesting. Let me check what was on. Oh, no, okay. My bad. I'm thinking of Response. Response is what is on Selena. Yes. The inspiration is on Leap Attack. So Leap Attack is a neutral card that deals damage, but when it's drawn by an ability, it gains an extra ability, which is that you draw a card, I believe it is. It could be AP related, but I think it's that you draw a card. So that's the common card, Leap Attack. And okay, yeah, Inspiration is that same one. So it does have to be through an ability, which also increases the usefulness of someone like Cassius, someone like Beryl, even someone like Nia. Because you do need to draw it by an ability. It also means you really want to make sure you're getting those gear bags, getting rally, because you need those to shuffle through your deck faster. Because since it has to be through an ability, this deck is not just about having a small deck, it's about drawing through a deck. So the best way I can kind of put that is you would rather have a 15 card deck with 5 rallies than a 10 card deck with no rallies. Because even though theoretically they take the same amount of time to go through in terms of shuffling, one of them you are constantly using draw cards, which means you are proccing proccing inspiration. So yeah, you want to make sure you keep the deck small, but add as many draw cards as you can, because you want to intentionally draw through things. Even though it technically makes the deck bigger, it doesn't actually increase your cycle time.
유키는
Yeah.
이런 영감 효과를 적극 활용해서 자신의 피해량을 증가시키거나 아니면 자신의
Mhm.
카드 비용을 감소시켜서 전투를 더
I wonder if they'll show any
효율적으로
epiphanies or if they'll just keep it to
또
what they've
영감
shown.
효과를 직접
is fine.
발생시키기 위해서 자신의 공격 카드를 드로우하는 등 덱 컨트롤 능력도 굉장히 뛰어난 다재다능한 전투원입니다.
Mhm.
네, 광역 기술이 좋다. 그 얘기 듣자마자 저는 뭔가 느낌이 오는 것 같고요. 또 자신의 카드로
Yeah, the green planet is very AoE as well. So this boss that they're fighting here, if I remember correctly, this is the boss at the end of the Order planet, which is the fourth one I want to say. Yeah, I think it's red. God, I don't even remember the order. Because blue's the last one. Is it red, yellow, purple, green, blue? Something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one at the end of the green planet. Which makes sense that you'd want to take her there. Okay.
네, 덱빌딩도 굉장히
We're gonna talk about
다양한 것으로
epiphanies?
배척할 수 있는데요. 예를 들면 제압 준비의 번뜩임인
Okay. We're going to talk about epiphanies. Right, so this is her fourth card. Interesting that these all have the seasonal icon on them. I'm curious why. Because, like they said, the seasonal icon means these are things that can only be earned in the season. So, can you use... Okay, two questions. Question the first. Can you use... like... Okay, let's say you take Yuki into Chaos Manifestation. Are her cards always going to have the seasonal logo? So even though they said you take seasonal decks into the season, if the unit is from that season, are all their decks allowed to be used in the seasonal content? I imagine no, but then it's weird that you would put these on the card, but it could just be where they've screenshot them from. And then the second question, is there going to be a difference for units like Yuki when the season ends? Again, I assume not. I assume it will just be the same as any other unit when the season ends. But it is just kind of weird to see these show up on the cards. But again, maybe this is just on every card in the season.
자신의 공격 카드를
Which is
두장
cool.
드로우하고 그
That's
카드의
a nice little
피해량을
touch.
조금 감소시키는 카드 같은 경우는 자신의 피해량이 조금 감소하지만 대신 자신의 공격 카드를 굉장히 많이 드로우할 수 있고요. 다른 카드로는 훔쳐배기의 번뜩임이 있는데요.
Okay. So, actually, hold on, back up. I didn't really look at these properly. Okay. So, this becomes Retain, and it's 40 damage for that card. Next one is 20% to all your own attack cards, okay. The third one... Okay, so minus 20% damage, but you're drawing two of them instead. Draw an attack card for 1 20% damage. Draw one attack card, okay. Right. Interesting. Yeah, I need to put these all out. So, okay, since we have these epiphanies, I will add Yuki to the spreadsheet tonight. So once this, like, whenever you see this video, either I'm working on it right now or it's already up. But yeah, this is it'll be easier to theory craft once we have these all written out. So I won't dwell on it too much here in this video. But yeah, we will talk about these in future. And then yeah, we saw this. Okay, cool. So take a brief look at this. We're getting a damage increased here. This is going to make the card free. So Ooh, what set are we going to run? Hold on, let me pull up the spreadsheet and let's take a look at these sets. So of course the spreadsheet will be in the description if you need it, and yeah, we're going to be adding Yuki onto this. Where is memory fragments? So when using attack cards, plus 5% order card damage for 1 turn, max 3 stacks. Okay, I can definitely see this being good on Yuki. So by the looks of it, you're going to run Yuki on the order set and the crit damage set, and what's nice about that is it means you don't need to worry about card cost, right? So that's a thing that we actually run into with Haru, which is a bit of a problem. Because Haru does not fall into any of these elements, that means she has to use either Conqueror's Aspect or Line of Justice, meaning you ideally want everything 1 cost or everything 2 cost. Everything 2 cost is the easier build to do because it doesn't require an Epiphany, or this is 2 and higher, to be fair. But yeah, when it comes to the 1 cost build, it's harder because you do need a deity Epiphany to do that. We did talk about this recently. I have put this in like for her build and stuff. But yeah, so it's going to be really nice. Things are going to be really, really easy to build. There's a world you could do 1 cost Yuki, I guess, but I think for most people it's just going to be way more straightforward. They'll want a 4-piece bullet of order. Throw one, most likely a 2-piece executioner's tool. I don't see why you'd really throw on anything else. And as far as it seems, it's just going to be very standard DPS building. So on your 4th piece, you're going to be looking for crit rate or crit damage, depending what you need. For your 5th piece, you're going to be taking order damage %. And for your 6th piece, you're going to be taking attack %, though ego recovery isn't the worst thing in the world. But attack %'s the main one you're going to go for. And then, of course, crit rate, crit damage are the stats that you'd be looking for. After that would be flat attack, and then either ego recovery or percent attack, and then either ego recovery or flat attack for your 4th line. Ego recovery is just a nice stat to have. It's not something you really care about having a lot of, but the more you can get on your team, the nicer it is. So that's what that's going to look like. So yeah, pretty straightforward building for her, by the looks of it, which is nice.
피해량이 320%로
A
굉장히
3-cost flash
한 턴만 들어오는
slash.
자신의 카드 수만큼 피해량이 또 추가로 증가하게 됩니다. 이런 카드들을 통해서 강력한 공격을 연기할 수 있습니다.
네, 제 머릿속에도 여러 전투원이 떠오릅니다. 이 카시오스나 니아같이 전투원이 드로우를 통해서 유키를 더 강력하게 만들어서
I wonder if we'll get those
함께
JP
사용할 수
team
있지 않을까
recommendations.
생각 또한 들고요. 유키와 함께 나오는 신규 파트너도 소개해
Oh
주시죠.
yeah, of course, the partner.
유키의 든든한 파트너 웨스트메커.
Okay.
웨스트메커는 먼저 사건 현장에 도착.
This is a very different design that I had imagined.
안락의자 사설 탐정입니다. 사건마다 끼어들어 유키를 귀찮게 하지만 뛰어난 추리력으로
This has not been
네, 유키
anywhere as far as I've seen. Not on the website, not on like forums, whatever.
효과는 어떨까요?
네, 웨스트메커는 스트라이커
Okay.
파트너로
Move 1 card from hand to draw pile. Okay, so that's going to take out a Yuki card. Okay. Let's read the passive first. Attack cards of the assigned combatant drawn by their ability have their damage increased by 50% for 1 turn. Damage amount of cards with the assigned combatant's inspiration increased by 20%. I will tell you this right now. If you are not pulling Yuki, do not pull Westmacott. This is not usable on anyone else right now. In terms of strikers that draw their own cards with an ability, sure, Haru technically does that, but Haru doesn't have inspiration, and also Haru doesn't really benefit from moving something to her from her hand to her draw pile. You can do that if you want to kind of delay your anchor shot for the next turn or something, but generally speaking, it's not going to be useful at all. Owen, again, another unit that really is not going to benefit from this whatsoever. Now, is Haru going to need this weapon? Let's take a quick look at what we have for strikers and talk a little bit about whether you're going to need this partner or not, because more than likely you're not. Generally speaking, there's a lot of striker partners. So, of course, we have Asteria. Asteria, not going to be a great fit, largely because the 2 or more cost is something that it doesn't seem like Yuki falls into a whole lot. Although, of course, the ego skill for Asteria is really, really good. Let's see. Okay, so this isn't bad, but the weak point damage isn't really fitting, to be honest. So Marianne's not a great option either. Scarlet probably going to be the most solid option. So Scarlet gives you the effect works similar to Rin Stance, but essentially, like it says here, when you use a card, your attack cards deal 15% damage up to 30%, so 2 stacks of that. Using 2 or more cards applies focus, and focus is just going to be a additional 20% increase on top of that 30%. So this is good for anyone who wants to be using multiple cards in a row, which Yuki very much will be doing. So if you manage to get your hands on a Scarlet, Scarlet is going to be your best 5-star option. Taking a look at Priscilla here. I think I have Priscilla under the wrong element. Is Priscilla Striker? Oh, she is. Okay, never mind. This is the right element. Element class. Yeah, so Priscilla... maybe. It depends how much you're going to really be breaking with Yuki. Considering her cards have a cheaper cost, it's not going to be a huge thing. But if you are breaking enemies a lot, maybe you're running a double order team with like an Amir or something, then you can definitely run this as a 5-star option if you want. But I think Scarlet is going to be more comfy for most people. And then besides that, Lillian is going to be your go-to for the 1 cost or less cards, especially since we do have inspiration on her 2 cost, which can bring it down to 1. Even with the 3 cost variant, we can bring that down to 1 as well, using her skill card that procs inspiration effects. And again, we also have one that reduces cost by 2, so it still fits into this criteria. And when you use a skill card, you get attack damage up to 30% for 1 turn. So Lillian is going to far and away be the 4-star you want to be running on your Yuki. If you are able to get your hands on a Scarlet, then you can. Whether Priscilla is better than Lillian, again, depends on how much you can break the enemy. But I think for most people, the comfier option by far is going to be using that Lillian. So we will make a video for Yuki and stuff when she comes out. I will fill out her recommendations and stuff before she releases, at least as far as what I feel is going to be the case. It could be change on release, obviously. But yeah, Lillian, 100% going to be your best partner here. So with that being said, do you need Weskamot? Look, the damage Weskamot gives is going to be insane, right? It's a rate up 5-star partner that is designed to work with Yuki, right? This is 70% damage on your inspiration cards, which is really, really good. But here, we're going to be getting up to 30% for using skill cards, and Yuki does use a lot of skill cards, so you are going to be getting at least 10 to 20% minimum basically every single turn, especially if you do have enough card draw in, you know, using Cassius, using Mika with a lot of rally, gear bag, whatever it may be. So yeah, I think Lillian's going to be really, really good. Also, you then get the ego skill of dealing 100% damage to all enemies, fits in with the theme of her being AoE. This is going to help with that AoE. And you draw 1 of the assigned combatants' attack cards, costing 1 or less, which is good. This does mean you're not going to draw into that 2-cost inspiration, because it only becomes 1 cost after the passive procs. But this could draw 1 of your cards that draws cards, right? And now you are getting that inspiration effect. So yeah, Lillian by far going to be your best 4-star option, and potentially just your best option unless you have the signature. Scarlet is probably more damage than Lillian. But yeah, so I don't think you're going to need Weskamot at all. Of course, it's going to be nice to have. We, of course, will be pulling Weskamot so that we can try it out and stuff. But yeah, if you have a Scarlet, I would definitely recommend running that. Especially if you have dupes in your Scarlet. 100% recommend that.
능력으로 들어오는 카드와 영감 효과를 보유한 카드의 피해량을 증가시키는 패시브를 가지고 있습니다. 유키가 곤란에 빠질 때면 에고 스킬인 단서 포착으로 팬덱 카드 한 장을 뽑을 카드 위로 이동시키고 담당 전투원의 카드를 한 장 드로우할 수 있어 쉽게 덱 컨트롤을 할수 있습니다.
네, 지금까지 소개해드린 신규 전투원 6키 파트너 웨스트 메커 픽업은 11월 12일 점검 종료 이후 만나실 수 있습니다.
November 12th,
자,
okay.
이후 12월 3일 점검 종료 후에 상시 구출에 편입됩니다. 자, 6기가 12월
Hold
3일
up.
11월 12일 점검 종료 이후 만나실 수 있습니다.
Yeah.
자, 이후 12월 3일 점검 종료 후에 상시 구출에
Okay. So that's important to note. So, after their 3 weeks, we don't even have to wait till the end of the season. When that banner ends, the next one will immediately come. That is really, really nice. There's not going to be any downtime on waiting for that, which is really, really good. Yeah, I thought there was a chance maybe we have to wait till the end of the season, but no, they are going straight into that standard pool, which is really, really nice to see.
됩니다. 자, 6기가 정말 강력해 보이는데 저도 점검
Are we gonna get any news
노려봐야겠습니다.
about the next 2 banners? No. Okay. That's fair enough.
본격적으로 컨텐츠에 대해서도 알아볼까요?
That's fair enough.
가장 먼저 말씀드릴 내용은 역시
Let's take a look at the screen real quick. So, supply store, exactly what it sounds like. Challenge mission, it's probably going to be like hard mode stages, or this event's version of hard mode stages. First half, the Great Rift, Nebula Distortion, Chaos Weekly Progress Score, and Story. So I assume this Chaos is going to work the same as like Zero System does, in the sense that you do your run, when your run is done, you get a bunch of score, and that score contributes to what is likely a reward track. This is going on for 36 days, or 35, not 35 and a bit days. So this is going to last the entire season. No surprise to anyone there. Interesting story. Chapter 3, Episode 1. So it seems like these stories are going to have some length to them. These aren't going to be just like, oh, here's a 5 mission side story. I mean, there's at least 3 whole chapters in this, which is really, really cool to see. That's good.
저도 알아볼까요?
가장 먼저 말씀드릴 내용은
Chaos, okay. Lot of stages here. So with 3 being up here, I'm assuming 1 and 2 are going to be above. So then we get 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Maybe even all the way to 10. We'll see. We do know some stages go up to 10. The Void weakness is interesting to me since we're starting with Yuki and not Chizuru. But
역시
interesting.
이번에 추가되는 신규 카오스는 제
And we can also see as well up here you have this currency, and these tickets are here. So these are the item that you hand in at the end of your chaos run to get rewards that you get for a week. And we can see here that they are actually going to be spendable in the event, which is really, really nice. It means we're still going to be getting those rewards. We're not going to have to do the event runs and go out into Zero System or Chaos Manifestation and do those runs. When the event is out, we can just play the event and the event stages and what the event has to offer. And we don't need to be trying to do, 3 different runs in 3 different places or anything. It's really, really nice.
역시 카오스입니다.
I like that.
이번에 추가되는 신규 카오스는 제0 연구소
Laboratory Zero.
카구야 제약과 120 컴퍼니가 세운 연구소에서 개화한 카오스입니다.
이번 시즌
Okay.
제목이 금기의 카탈리스트인데요. 여기서 뭔가 일이 벌어지는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I'm guessing that crystal that
이번에
Chizuru had
아주
is what
길수록
is the forbidden
시대는
catalyst.
진행되었고, 이로 인해서 카오스가 개화됐는데요. 과연 연구소에서 무슨 일이 있었는지는 직접 확인해 보시면 감사하겠습니다.
네, 좋습니다. 자, 그래서 이 신규
Cool,
카오스는
cool.
지금 우리가 하는 카오스와는 또 어떤 점이 다를까요?
네, 제0 연구소에서는 금기의 카탈리스트 시즌에 맞춰
I'd imagine so.
장비, 운명 등 다양한 로그라이크 요소가 추가.
So it seems like obviously we have the different planets that have their different themes, and then it seems like this Laboratory Zero is going to be as if we had like a 6th planet, right? So you're going to see more different themes, maybe even some different enemies and stuff, which is really cool. Because we were talking about this on stream recently, and I was like, are we going to get more planets and stuff? And it seems like, judging by this, it seems like we might not be getting more planets, but it seems like each event will have their own event planet kind of thing. I'm curious. I know they said the story was going to stay. I'm curious if Laboratory Zero is going to stay. It'd be nice if it did, but we'll see.
연구소에서는 원인 불명의 차원
Yep,
터널을
that's Nihilum.
발견했는데요. 아기와 집념이 모여 만든
Or at least it's released
차원
as a
터널에서
Nihilum.
연구소에 숨겨진 비밀을 직접 마주하실 수 있습니다. 일반 루트에서는 경험할 수 없는 잔혹한
And through the course for normal route. Let's see this. Okay, some initiation cards here. Makes sense. 1 random card in hand, -1 cost. When drawn by an ability, heal 40%, -1 stress of a random combatant. Gonna be honest, not great. It is a upgrade. Wait, Wait, but there's also lead here. Wait, have they changed Outbreak of War? Well, no. Why would you have Outbreak of War on an upgrade that? Oh no, because it's not when that's drawn by an ability. Weird that Gesture of Freedom would be Outbreak of War, but yeah, I think they've changed Outbreak of War to Initiation because, okay, for those who don't know, when you look at the first duplicate for Selena and for Mika, it adds Outbreak of War to Sniper's Domain and Deluge in the case of Mika. But it doesn't actually say it adds Outbreak of War, it says it adds Initiation. So we have Initiate, which is on one of the items that you can find in Chaos, and that actually means lead. It's not Initiate or Initiative, sorry. It's not Initiative, it means lead. But then you also have Initiation, which doesn't mean Initiative or lead, it means Outbreak of War. So it seems like they're committing to Outbreak of War being Initiation now. So again, that's all going to be updated and reflected on the sheet. But yeah, for those who are wondering what is Initiation, I'm presuming that this is them just sticking with getting rid of Outbreak of War. It's now called Initiation. So that should presumably all be updated when the patch comes out on the 12th, I believe it was. It should be in like 5 days. Yep, it's going to be on the 12th. So there we go. Initiation is just Outbreak of War, by the looks of it. So, with that being said, Forbidding Guidance isn't terrible. It's the heal is just not that important, and the -1 stress it's fine. It's not, by the looks of it, it's not limited to once per turn, right? So because of that, I don't know if it has to be the person who played it that has to draw the cards. We'll need to double check. But I can imagine it being for all 3 combatants. But either way, you would honestly want this on like your Mika. 2 reasons. One is just because Mika heals a lot, right? That's her thing. So she's going to be healing even more with this card because you are building defense and stuff on her. And then the -1 stress, if you're again putting rally on her, if you're putting gear bag on her, she's going to be proccing the -1 stress often enough that it is going to have an impact long term. At least when it comes to Chaos Manifestation. When it comes to Basin of Hyperspace, we don't really care about stress reduction because you're not really getting stressed in Basin of Hyperspace, right? It's just not a thing you're ever really worried about. So I think it's going to be a good card in Chaos, but not really in Basin of Hyperspace. This is fine. There's not really a reason not to have it. I mean, there kind of is because it's taking up a potential card in your opening hand. But it's a free -1 cost on turn 1. Sure, it's fine. I want to take a closer look at these at some point. Draw 1, draw for each cost of that card. This could be good on like, so this one, Disposable Ego. Also, is that Alexia? Might be. Yeah, so this is going to be good, potentially for like a Haru or for, it depends what class it can go on, but like a Haru or a Khalip. Because, you know, let's say you're playing Khalip, draw 1, you draw Vulture Ejection, draw for each cost of that card. This is now a 1 cost draw 4, right? So there's definitely going to be some units that this is actually going to be really, really solid on. So definitely worth looking at that. Activate 2 random cards from hand. That could be interesting. Response. This is the other one I was talking about. So response is when you draw the card from your deck. I don't know if, I assume it also can be from an ability, but it doesn't have to be from an ability. Draw 1 plus 1 AP. This card will be very solid. Now, it doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't actually have an effect. It's just a retain exhaust, which means this is only going to work once. Because if you don't play it, it gets stuck in your hand and does nothing. And if you do play it, it exhausts. So, there's that. Unless response procs if it's retained. I don't think it does, but maybe it does. This would be a good card. Just helps you cycle your deck, but also it gives you the 1 AP, which is really, really nice. This is definitely something you would want in your Yuki decks. Because again, like we talked about before, it makes the deck a little bit bigger, but it also has a benefit of giving you AP and doesn't actually increase your cycle time at all, right? So yeah, Eternal Hunger is going to be a really, really nice card for Yuki
과정을
decks.
거치고 나면 금기 카드를 얻으실 수 있는데요. 예를 들어 금기 분노의 초상이라는 카드가 있는데요. 밴드 카드 4장당 타격 횟수가 추가되는 연타
Mhm.
카드인데 타격 횟수만큼 드로우하는 기능도 추가되어 있습니다. 이런 카드들을 활용해서 재미있는 덱 빌딩을 해보실 수 있을 것 같습니다. 금기 카드뿐만 아니라 다양한 시즌
Yeah,
카드도
new season cards as well.
추가됩니다. 공용 카드는 총 8장의 시즌 카드가 추가되어 금기 카탈리스트 시즌만의 덱 빌딩을 도전해 보실 수 있습니다.
네, 그러면 이러한 금기 카드나 공용
Yeah, I need to take a closer look at those at
이번
some point.
시즌에만 사용할 수 있는 건가요?
아, 아닙니다. 시즌 카오스가 시즌 종료 후에는
Okay.
상시 카오스로 편입될 예정입니다. 그래서 새로 나온 금기 카드나 공용 카드는 시즌이 종료된 후에도 획득하실 수 있습니다. 그리고 신규 엘리트
Cool, cool,
몬스터는
cool.
서늘한 대부,
The new elite monsters Chilling Godfather and Hunger of Loss. Activate the bottom one card of the draw pile, choose one card in hand, and move it to the bottom of the draw pile. Okay. That could actually be good for Haru. Depending on what anchor pointer you are using. One issue you sometimes run into anchor pointer is that if you draw anchor pointer before you draw anchor shot, then you're not increasing the amount of anchor shots you use, and there's kind of no need for anchor pointer in some cases. But if you're able to put it at the bottom of your deck, that means that you could draw into, although that also depends on you exactly drawing into the bottom card. So maybe there's issues there. Okay. You could just throw a draw card at the bottom if you really wanted. We'll see. We'll see what use there is for Chilling Godfather. And then for Hunger of Lost, exhaust, draw one card. If there are no cards in hand, draw 4 extra. You'd want an AP hungry build with this one. Yeah, you want a lot of AP stuff going on. Again, this actually could be good for Haru. Just because she's going to spend a lot of AP, and then you want to get this to be the last card in your hand. It's definitely a more situational card, but it is definitely a card you can make use of. And this is a draw 5, so yeah, if you're running a Mika with a lot of like Deity Epiphanies for +1 AP, definitely a very, very solid option because that is a lot of card draw. It's just that the condition is a bit niche.
하면 일정 확률로 몬스터 카드 역시 획득하실 수도 있습니다. 카드뿐만 아니라 장비 역시 시즌 장비가 추가되어
Seasonal equipment as well.
볼 수 있는 독특한 덱 빌딩을 지원합니다.
Okay.
이 밖에도 시즌 운명도 추가되었으니 제0 연구소
Okay. Dimensional tunnel location revealed. Interesting. Use the chance of forbidden catalyst card appearing in training. But okay. Forbidden catalyst cards and equipment at the Lang shop are always discounted by 30%. That's super, super nice. So my complaint, or one of my complaints in the playtest, and still my complaint on launch, is that training is just kind of pointless. Even if you are full health, I would rather take the minus stress than spending 40 coins on maybe only having one card I can even give to one of my teammates, and having that card be something I don't want. So by adding Forbidden Catalyst cards into training, now there's a little more reason to train over resting. Obviously, if you need health and you need to reduce some stress, resting is always going to be the better option, no doubt about it. But at least there's a little more incentive to go for training now, which is nice. I still wish they'd make some changes to to that system, but this is really, really intriguing. It definitely gives you a little bit more incentive.
네, 확실히 다양한 카드가 추가가 되면 이 번뜨기 효과까지 미리 써보면서 연구하는 재미가 쏠쏠할 것 같다는 생각이 드는데요. 시즌 제 로그라이크 카오스 정말 기대가 되는데 이 외에도 또 다른 컨텐츠가 있겠죠?
네, 이번 은하계제에서는
Okay.
카오스뿐만 아니라 성운 왜곡, 대균현이라는 컨텐츠가 신규로 추가됩니다. 먼저 성운 왜곡에 대해서 말씀드릴게요.
Okay. Nebula
성운
Distortion.
왜곡이란 컨텐츠는 그동안 퍼스트 분들이 좋아하셨던 보스들이
Okay.
등장하게 되고 퍼스트 여러분들은 보스의 왜곡 현상을 중첩시켜서
Distortion
더
effect.
어려운 환경에서 보스에게 도전하실 수 있습니다.
Oh, I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Give me some challenge. I love that. Some boss fight challenge. Okay. This is good. If there's no timer on this, then finally we can start bringing Aulia to stuff. We can start bringing Beryl to stuff, and like on an actual retain nuke build. Yeah. No, I like this. I like this.
이때 앞서 말씀드린 것처럼 시즌 세이브 데이터를
Yep.
사용해 도전하실 수 있고 왜곡 중첩 단계에 따라 보스가 강해지기 때문에 신중한 덱빌딩을 필요로 합니다.
I like this.
시즌 시작 후 보스 켄트리스가
Oh,
먼저
this. Oh my god, this crab, dude. Okay.
열리고 2주 후에는 가주, 4주 후에는 단꿈이 등장합니다.
Family Head isn't too bad. Sweet Dream is definitely a pain though.
보상을 받을 수 있으니 꼭 높은
If you haven't built a Tressa is going to be good for Family Head, to be fair, but also very, very good for Sweet Dream. So Sweet Dream is actually Void Weak. Family Head, I believe, is also Void Weak, but Kentress is Justice Weak, so blue. So yeah, we have a blue boss and 2 purple bosses. Assuming Family Head is purple. I'm pretty sure Family Head is purple. They could be red, but I think they're purple. But Sweet Dream is definitely purple.
등장합니다. 클리어 후 보스별 왜곡 중첩에 따라서 보상을 받을 수 있으니 꼭 높은
Okay.
중첩 단계로
A cute little Yuki icon we get down here. That's nice to grab.
따라서 보상을 받을 수 있으니 꼭 높은 중첩 단계를 도전해 보시기를 권장하겠습니다.
네. 네, 듣고 보니까 저도 모르게 기대감이 증폭이 됩니다. 자, 그러면 이 성운 왜곡에 등장하는 보스들의
Oh
기믹은
god, they're
어떤가요?
changing them, aren't they?
보스의 기믹 자체는 유사하지만 화면에
Okay, that's
보시는
similar.
것처럼 왜곡 중첩 단계에 따라 난이도가
12,000 health.
상승합니다. 켄트리스는 이러한 제약
Okay.
환경에 상황에 맞는
Sure.
덱을 고민하시는 게 좋습니다.
네, 카오스도 그렇고
Okay.
상황이 계속 달라지니까 그에 맞는 전략을 고민하는 것이 정말 중요할 것 같습니다. 그렇다면 또 어떤 컨텐츠가 준비가 되어 있을까요?
Okay, so now we get the second tab.
금기의 카탈리스트
Yeah, Great Rift, okay.
흑막들이 보스로 등장하는 대균열입니다. 대균열 역시 시즌 세이브 데이터
What is that? What? Okay. Interesting team down here. Malin, Selena, Veronica. Very interesting.
로 선발대 후발대 두 파티를
I wonder if it's just going to be another DPS race again. Someone's going to end up deciphering these. I wonder if this is to do with doing, like, killing it in 4 turns or something. I'm not sure. If it is, then the triple DPS makes sense.
를 공략하는 컨텐츠.
But yeah.
전투는 2페이지로 구성되어 있습니다.
네, 자 그렇다면 이 차원의 여명과 좀 유사한 형태인가요?
차원의 여명과는 달리 대균열은 제한된 턴수 동안
Dude, this thing is huge! What is this tongue coming out here?
점수를 기록하는 컨.
Oh wait, no, that's just a tentacle. Okay, never mind. It's just because I caught it mid-animation. Okay. 42,000 health! Dude. Okay, where you aim to score as many points as possible. Okay, I love this. I love this. I love this. I literally complained about this the other day. How I was saying my issue, because I was asked about this on stream yesterday or the day before. And they were asking how I feel about Basin of Hyperspace. And I said my main issue with Basin of Hyperspace isn't actually the basin itself. The fact you're limited on how many turns you can take and it's kind of a Memory of Chaos clone is whatever. The issue is that it's the only thing we have. So if a unit isn't good in Basin, they have no home at the moment. Sure, you could say, oh, they're good in, they're good in Chaos runs and stuff, and they're good in Zero System. Yeah, everyone's good in Zero System if you build them properly. It's not meant to be hard. And Basin isn't exactly hard, to be fair, but it's an endgame mode, right? So this allows other units to actually shine. So in Basin, you want more AoE focused burst. Here, you want more single target burst. In the other mode, you want more sustained damage. It's good to see this variety of modes, which also allows for a variety of different units to be used. Really, really good. I really, really love to see this. Oh, goodbye.
조건을 달성하면 추가 효과를 받을 수 있습니다. 최대한 이걸 활용해서 높은 점수를 기록하는 것이 핵심입니다.
Okay.
당연히 달성한 점수에 따라 보상도 받을 수 있고 꾸준히 참가만 해도 누적 보상을 받을 수 있습니다. 이와 더불어
Sense.
특별한 스티커도 획득하실 수 있으니까 많은 참여해 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Okay, those are cool.
좋습니다.
I like those
보상이
icons.
좋다면 분명히 막 열심히 도전하려는 이런 의지를 가지시는 분들이 계실 것 같긴
Yep.
한데요. 약간 좀 어려울 것 같다는 생각이 좀 한편으로 들기도 합니다.
뭐 대균열이란 컨텐츠가 다양한 세이브 데이터로 공략하는 컨텐츠이기도 하지만
네.
만약 내가 덱 빌딩에 어려움을 느낀다라면
But my neurons just activated. Firstly, Chizuru cited W, but also we have leaderboards. We have leaderboards in the game. I love this. This is good. I like this. People were like, "What's the point in pulling? If you really need competitive that bad, you have a leaderboard." This is gonna be fun. I like this. I really, really like this, and it's going to open people up to new teams as well. I mean, look here, for example. These are not going to be the best teams, of course, but you see here, you have the triple order team with Luke and Yuki. Over here, you're seeing Yuki and Nia with Veronica in that third slot. So you're really going to get to see a lot of different teams being used here, and if you want to know what the best teams are, what the meta is, you're going to see them at the top of the leaderboard. And what's really, really nice about this is that because it's going to be different every season, we're going to be getting new units, but also we're going to have different bosses and different leaderboards every season. This is not going to be the same every season. You're not going to see Luke Khalip Magna at the top of every leaderboard or whatever, right? Which is really, really cool to see. You have your seasonal metas, and they're going to change every season because literally the bosses are changing, the cards are changing, the items are changing. This has got me really excited. I made the comment, again, it was on stream, I made the comment a few times how I was slowly not losing interest, but waiting so long for news and seeing how much people are just like leaking stuff. It wasn't, I just wanted the season to be out so I could play the game. But the excitement wasn't at the levels it was when the game came out. This is bringing my excitement all the way back up now. I'm really glad we got this because we really, really needed something like this. Instead of sitting translating the JP stream because Global gets nothing, right? So the fact that they are giving something to Global in the form of this video, and they are showing off all this stuff, this is amazing. I really, really wanted this to be a thing since before even release. And I'm really, really glad that we get this stuff. It's amazing to see. I wonder if we get to see builds. Please tell me we get to see builds. Tell me we can click on them and see the build.
없는 사람들은 이런 거 필수거든요. 보고 제가 따라할 수도 있군요. 요거 정말 마음에 듭니다.
Okay.
네, 자, 여러 가지
They didn't say you
보상도
can, but
보여주셨는데요.
maybe you can, we'll see.
문학의 전반적인 보상에는 또 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
The free dupe.
도전 과제나 주간 카오스 진척도 보상, 제0 연구소 카오스에서 보스를 처치하면 얻을 수 있는 순백의 파편이라는 이벤트 제한을
Pure white
획득하실 수
fragment.
있습니다.
Okay, yes, that's the
분기의
currency.
카탈리스트
Yep.
시즌 동안 오픈되는 보급 상점에서 이 순백의 파편을 통해 다양한 보상을 교환하실 수 있습니다. 보급 상점은 점검 후 1차 보급을
Yep, makes
시작으로
sense.
중반기, 후반기 업데이트마다 새로운 보급이
New
추가됩니다.
supply items added every 3 weeks. I like that. I like that. Okay. So we can see here 5 rate up pulls, 5 standard pulls, 5 camera pulls. We're going to get one of these ego cards, which you basically need to get like the highest level of later potentials. I said ego cards. I forget what they're actually called, but I swear ego's in the name. But yeah, these are the materials for your potential to get to like level 9 and 10 on some of those later nodes. These are obviously the eyes that you need. You need this on your unique card upgrades, or they're now called epiphany card upgrades. And you need this for your like first damage node that comes after it, and I think you might need it for another one too. But yeah, these are gonna come in handy. I forget exactly where these crystals are used. I forget if it's to do with memory fragments. I'm not sure. I've not touched memory fragment crafting too much. But yeah, there's that. And you can see up here, so this is going to be week 1, week 2, and week 3. So presumably, it's going to be, this is just assumption, we are going to get these basically refreshed in week 2 and week 3. So over the course of the 9 weeks, or, 9 weeks, 2 and a bit months, it's going to be 15 15 pulls, rate up, standard, and camera.
차원의 정렬 물질 등 다양한 상품과 아무래도 여러분들이 가장 기다리셨을 것
Omega code.
발현 재료
This is your free dupe. 6,000 points. You get one of these. This is going to be your free duplicate.
인 오메가 코드가
Yep.
추가됩니다. 오메가 코드는 5성 전투원을
For 5-star combatants.
재료입니다.
Which is fine.
마지막으로 금기의 카탈리스트
Yeah.
시즌
That's fine. So the dupe only works for 5-star combatants. I don't really think that's an issue. 4-star dupes you'll get over time from playing the game. They're whatever. I think people really... No one's sitting there upset that they can't get another dupe for their Lucas using this item. Right? It's way, way more valuable to put the dupe onto a 5-star anyway. So, yeah. Being limited to 5 stars is fine.
에서만 얻을 수 있는
I think that makes
특별한
sense.
스티커, 배경 등 다양한 보상들이 존재하고 있으니 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다.
Okay.
네, 그러면 이렇게나 좀 많은 업데이트가 있는데 또 이벤트가 있을까요?
Okay, we're gonna get events alongside it.
기념 출석 체크가
Okay, login event makes sense.
11월 12일 점검 후 11월
Okay, so they're kind of following... I forget how Star Rail does it, but they're kind of following the Wooer login thing here. It's a little bit different. But yeah, so you're going to be getting 10 pulls, 5 standard, 5 rate up.
26일까지 은하계제의 투입 준비.
Yeah, from 12 to 26, so lots of time.
총
You've got 10 days to do that.
신호 증폭 앵커 5개를 획득하실 수 있습니다.
Yep.
네, 그리고 지금 런칭 한 달 정도 됐잖아요. 또 다른 뭐 더 없을까요?
뭐 아직도 실감이 나지 않지만 벌써 런칭 후 한 달이라는
It is getting close.
퍼스트 여러분들께 감사한 마음을 담아 별빛 아래
Okay, cool. So, what, so 800? It's like half a multi.
함께
That's
한
something.
달이라는 이벤트가 진행됩니다. 11월 19일부터 12월
From the 19th until December 3rd? Okay, lots of time.
얻으실 수 있습니다.
Lots of time to be getting that.
이걸로는 저희 개발진의 감사한 마음.
Okay, and another camera temple.
A의 선물 출석 체크 이벤트도 준비했습니다. 이 밖에도 신규 카오스 업데이트 기념 특별
Makes sense.
판타보수 이벤트와 방주를 운영하는 퍼스트님들을 응원하기
More cakes. That's and interesting. So they're giving out more of these, which are the ones that you can. So these are the materials that basically substitute for your potential materials, for your ascension materials, and for your partner ascension materials. So that's really, really nice to have. And then, yeah, as we said before, there's going to be cake in these as well, and you get the crystals as well, which is cool.
위해서 방주의 수호자 이벤트도 개최됩니다. 더욱 더 자세한 내용은 업데이트 노트를
Makes sense.
통해 상세하게 전달해 드리도록 하겠습니다.
이벤트 외에도 추가 소식이 있다고 들었습니다.
More news?
네, 지속적으로 시스템을 개선하고 있는데요. 먼저 달성 수첩
The guy on the left like hasn't spoken yet.
상향해서
Increase the rewards for 2 levels through 22. Wait. Oh, sorry. We've increased the rewards for levels 2 through 22 in the achievement log. Okay.
초반 부족했던 진급
Adding
제어와
promotion materials and memory fragments. Okay.
이미 완료하신 퍼스트
I don't really care for the memory fragments. I see one here. I don't really care for it. At level 22, you're getting greens. Fine.
분들께는 별도로 우편을 통해
Okay,
지급해드릴
so
예정입니다.
don't worry. We will still get these in mail. Good.
또한 전투 임무 6장이
And we're getting
업데이트되어
chapter 6. Okay, I figured we might.
추가될 예정이니 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다.
Cool.
네, 오늘 처음으로 업데이트 프로그램을 저희가 진행을 해봤는데요. 앞으로 나올 은하계 재해 컨텐츠 또한 매우
The guy on the left like didn't talk at all.
런칭 후 첫 업데이트라서 우리 개발자분들 입장에서 참 부담도 많이 되고 오늘 감회도 좀 남다를 것 같습니다.
먼저 긴 내용에도 끝까지 시청해 주셔서 정말 감사하다는 말씀 드리겠습니다.
I'm glad it was a long video. I like that.
런칭이라는 안도감보다는 안정적인 서비스를 위해서 더 긴장해서 끝까지 최선을 다할 것을 약속드리겠습니다.
Okay.
감사합니다.
피드백을 잘 수용해서 앞으로도 게임 정말 잘 부탁드리도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 이 자리가 정말 뜻깊은 자리가 되길 저도 간절히 바라보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 이런 자리에서 이렇게 헤어지는 것은 좀 아쉽지 않겠나라는 생각이 듭니다. 그렇다면 또 준비된 선물 이제는 좀 공개해 줄 때가 된 것 같습니다.
Codes?
네,
Redeem codes?
마지막으로 감사의 마음을 담아 특별한 선물을 준비했습니다. 지금 이 영상이 종료된 후
Okay, I'm just gonna go to
들어가시면
inbox. Okay.
확인하실 수 있을 텐데요. 더욱 재미있는 카오스 제로 나이트메어를 만들기 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 자 오늘 저희가 준비한 내용은
Nice.
여기까지입니다. 카즈나는 이 런칭 후 여러모로 부족한 점이
we get to see the Yuki thing.
자리를 만들 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 다음에는 라이브를 해보는 것도 좋을 것 같습니다, 팀장님. 어떻게 생각하시나요?
저는 뭐 기회만 된다면 얼마든지 소통할.
Okay, so we might get a live stream next time. Cool.
은하계 제 시즌을 여러분께 선보이도록 하겠습니다.
Cool,
자,
cool, cool. I really like
많은
that.
관심과 플레이 부탁드리면서 여기서 인사드리겠습니다. 퍼스트 여러분, 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
Let's see this.
ここで終わるわけには。
Wow, okay. Okay, I like these.
終わる
I
わけに
like
は
these. So yeah, this one's kind of, you know, fairly standard. You got this like traumatized but also like rage-filled kind of look. Also interesting to see. You have some effects just from moving, but obviously a lot of like damage effects as well. See bruising over here, you have a cut there, everything around the neck and stuff as well. And then here, dude, this is giving me Future Diary flashbacks. This this is making me just think of Yuno Gasai. Like, with all the blood coming over and stuff. And then, yeah, obviously you got the tear falling as well, which is interesting. This one's really, really cool. I really like this. And then this kill effect. Oh my god. That's cool. That's cool. I really like that. Okay, well, yeah, so just to give like kind of final thoughts, yeah, Yuki looks really, really interesting. As we saw, she is going to be a 5-star. She will be an order striker, so a green striker. That is going to mean we're getting 2 strikers in a row, which is interesting. But if you want to start pre-farming your materials, there you go. That's what you're going to be looking for. Of course, as we saw, she is going to be running alongside. I forget exactly what their name was. Where is she? There we go. Westmacott. There we go. So she's going to be running alongside Westmacott. Again, if you are a free-to-play player, I would not recommend picking up Westmacott, to be perfectly honest. You're going to be perfectly fine just using either a Scarlet if you have it, or a Lillian, which is probably the better option anyway. So yeah, you're not going to need Westmacott. In terms of are you going to need Yuki, I'm going to be honest. You don't really need a lot of units in this game. Like, the balance in this game so far has been really, really good. We'll see how strong Yuki ends up being. Judging by the numbers we saw here, it's nothing insane, but we don't know what level she is, what gear she has on, that kind of stuff. So if you want to pull Yuki because you like Yuki, then go ahead. I know that I will be. But whether, you know, she's needed or not, that's something we need to wait until she's in the game to find out. And then, yeah, you know, seeing that we're getting extra legendary cards, extra elite cards, common cards, all the different stuff that's in the event and stuff. Yeah, this has me really, really excited. So, yeah, that's going to be it for the reaction. If you want to see the giant spreadsheet I have, like I said, I will be adding Yuki to this basically after this video goes up. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys next time.